The night passed by peacefully. Natasha enjoyed her cup of coffee at Java Joy's as she flipped through pages of documents. She looked worn out after staying up the entire night. Natasha! Just then, Quentin and Mr. Wangley stormed in through the door. What is it? Natasha couldn't even be bothered to spare them a glance. She continued to flip through the documents. Bang! A wooden box was rudely slammed on the table. It opened up to reveal a single white pill in it. Check this out. Natasha, do you know what it is? Quentin pointed at the pill, and his tone was unmistakably demanding. How would I know? You tell me. She sat up lazily. Ha! You can't even recognize the Eternamax? Quentin looked unimpressed. So this is Eternamax. Well, what about it? Natasha asked, not too concerned. What about it? You have the gall to ask me what about it? I bought this Eternamax from the Hummers. They've managed to manufacture it. Are you aware of that? Quentin raised his voice. Oh? So what? Isn't it only a matter of time? Natasha couldn't be any calmer. What is this attitude you're showing? Do you not see the severity of the issue at hand? The Eternamax that the Hummers produced have shown phenomenal results, and many of the rich and powerful have already put in their orders. Its price has skyrocketed, and they're now worth a whopping 500 grand per pill. Quentin looked exasperated. Oh? So? Still Natasha was unfazed. An object is valued in proportion to its rarity. Eternamax is monopolizing the market right now because there are no other medications that can compete with it yet. But once the Hummers start producing it, we will be severely affected. Quentin rapped sharply on the table. What exactly are you saying? Natasha countered. You are now left with two choices. You either develop the Eternamax as soon as possible, or you will have to collaborate with Edwin Hummer. Quentin announced decisively. Our research findings on the Eternamax have been stolen. It's too late to start over from scratch. As for working with Edwin Hummer, that's impossible. Natasha used flat out. You disagree with both options. But you don't have a solution to solve the situation, don't you? The family put such importance on you, and this is how you repay us? Quentin questioned aggressively. I have my way of dealing with it. You don't have to worry. Natasha was still undisturbed. This has to do with the gains of the family. I will not allow you to mess around. If you do not come up with a satisfactory solution in 3 days, do not blame me for reporting you to the board. Quentin declared justly. Do as you wish. Natasha shrugged nonchalantly. Fine. Just you wait. Quentin scoffed before he turned to leave. From how he saw it, Natasha was bound to lose this time around. Once she messes up, the family will need a scapegoat to pin the blame on, and he would have an excuse to force her to back out. Not long after Quentin left, Ruth came running in. We did it! We did it! Ruth exclaimed as she ran in, looking for Natasha with excitement. Did what? Natasha looked up, bewildered. The Amorchinol. Dustin managed to produce the Amorchinol. Ruth pulled out a little bottle as she spoke and poured out a green pill from it. The pill was bright and clear, with a sort of luster to it. It even has a slight fragrance. Oh? This is Amorchinol? Natasha looked astonished. Appearance-wise, the pill looked really attractive, akin to a pearl. It tastes really good too. Would you like to give it a taste? Ruth gushed, as though showing off a precious treasure. It tastes good? Do you think this is some kind of snack? Natasha did not know what to make of her sister's comment. But still, she picked up the Amorchinol and popped it in. It dissolved instantly, and a cool sensation flowed through her body as she swallowed it. A tingly sensation came over her, and she felt rejuvenated. All of her exhaustion seemed to have dissipated on the spot. She was refreshed and energized right away. Amorchinol is amazing indeed. Natasha could not contain her awe. She was really in disbelief at how it was able to exhibit such palpable effects immediately. Sis! Your face! You look like you've aged backward. Your complexion looks much brighter too, Ruth cried out in surprise beside her. What are you blabbering about? That's impossible. Natasha rolled her eyes, obviously not buying what Ruth had just said. It's true. Take a look in the mirror if you don't believe me. She took out a compact mirror and passed it to her sister. What? One look in the mirror was all it took to give Natasha a shock. She found that after ingesting the Amorchinol, her complexion had improved. Even the dark circles under her eyes, a result of her staying up the whole night, had disappeared too. Her skin's texture felt like she had just applied a mask to it, bright and hydrated. My goodness! This is miraculous! She was in utter disbelief as she touched her face. One Immortanol made her feel so rejuvenated, removed the dark circles under her eyes, and primed up her skin, making her look much more alluring. Its beautifying effects were a game-changer. How is it? I wasn't lying, was I? Ruth looked very pleased with it. She had been busying herself with assisting Dustin ever since they got their hands on the blood laminanth root the day before. So she played a part in the production of Immortanol, at least that was what she believed. It's great, isn't it? She was momentarily lost in her thoughts before breaking out into a grin. Frankly speaking, she had not held high hopes for them being able to produce the Immortanol. But Dustin had proved her wrong yet again. He was truly their lucky star. Sis, Immortanol does not only give superb effects, but its production cost is also much lower than Eternamax. We spent $5 million on the blood laminanth root, which Dustin diluted with water, and now, that can last us years. Ruth's statement was incredible news. Really? That's wonderful. Natasha's spirits were lifted. Based on what she had just experienced, she was sure that the Immortanol's effects far surpassed that of the Eternamax. Furthermore, if they could control its production cost, that would be a breakthrough. It would not be an exaggeration to say that once Immortanol was out on the market, it would bring Eternamax down to its knees. Ruth, we need to keep Immortanol a secret. Why? Edwin will be having a press release for the launching of Eternamax in a few days. We have to take him by surprise and hit him where it hurts. It'll give him a huge shock in front of the press.